So where did baby boomer women and Gen X women go wrong? I mean, why do we find ourselves struggling to make ends meet or trying to figure out who the heck we are and what we want to do in our second halves? Well, I'm here to share a little bit of my story for you, and I think you'll be able to relate to some of it. When I was 17, I left home after I graduated, and my parents didn't have the money to send me to university or to college, so I just went out and I got a job. And I got a job as a secretary because I knew how to type. So that's what I did. And for a while, that was lots of fun. I spent all my money on makeup and clothing and just had fun. And then as I got older, my girlfriends were starting to get married and to start families. And I thought, well, geez, maybe I should be thinking about doing that next because that's what women did. So okay, I was dating a handsome fella, and he had a good job. So I thought, okay, well, we'll get married, and so we did. And we had fun for a while, and then we decided, well, maybe it's time we settled down and had some children, and so we did. And then it was, well, maybe we should get a house so we can raise the children in it. And so we did. We got a mortgage and we got a house. And yeah, living the dream. So the problem is with that is that I was trying to live the life my mother lived because that's the way I was raised. And like most of you have probably been raised. And it was to stay home, be the housekeeper, and raise children, and make a nice home. Well, that's the nuclear family of the past. That doesn't exist anymore. You can't really have those things on one income. It just doesn't happen. So okay, I was expected to step up and go back to work. So I did, and now I'm raising two children and juggling daycare and a full-time job and coming home and keeping the house, and we're paying the mortgage, and that's my life. And anything that I want to do or I'm thinking of doing in the future, maybe having a career, well, that's going to be postponed and I will do it later. So okay, that happened, and life goes on. And then by the time you're in your 50s, or when I was in my 50s, my children were raised and they were going off for jobs, or in my daughter's case, she was going off to university with buckets of money to help pay for her education. And I was left to stay at home and continue working to help, because I didn't have any savings. So, and now I was divorced. So, okay, I've remarried and I've still not done anything. I'm still working to make ends meet. So I'm still in my 50s and I am trying to think about, well, what do I want to do next? I don't want to keep doing this anymore. I did this. I became a secretary, and I'm a legal secretary, so that I could afford to have children and to pay for a house. So I decided, no matter what, I'm going back to school. You can put it off forever and postpone it, and you say, well, maybe now's not the time. I don't have the money, but believe me, the right time never comes. So okay, I go back to school and I use every penny I've got, my credit cards, whatever, and I go back to school and I finally get a career, which I love, and life goes on. So now that I have my career as a travel agent, I'm really enjoying myself. I am working for a company that is very helpful and very encouraging to get you to help you along to make money and to pursue your dreams. And it was wonderful. But the problem that happened next is COVID. And COVID put all of us out of business for a while. And I decided to retire because of my age and go for doing something else. And I already had a plan on that because when I was a travel agent, I was putting out newsletters. And I was writing the newsletter myself and talking about destinations and all sorts of events. And I just really enjoyed it. So I decided I'd take up writing. And I did. And now I write for various online magazines, and I wrote my book, which took me 10 years, A Life Postponed. And it tells you the story of my life and how I went from being broke in my mid-50s and feeling desperate for what came next for me, and was it all over, my life all over? And to the point where I am now enjoying my life. I'm doing all sorts of things, and at 71 and at 2026, I know I can do anything uh, that my knees will allow me to do, but I can do anything. We are young at 71, or at least I am, and there's just, it's exhilarating and very life fulfilling and liberating to know that life is just beginning in this part of my, at this stage of my life. Yeah, you have to be brave, and you have to have friends. Surround yourself with friends who are like-minded, and there's just so much out there, and I want to help you discover those things so that you can be like me, enjoying your life, not postponing it anymore, not wondering, well, what can I do next? You can do anything. You can do anything. And if there's a will, there's a way. That's the truth. Now, don't get me wrong. I know some of you are still, having to postpone it a little bit longer because you have, family members or someone that you love that you're still looking after. And but don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Try and get as much into your life and do as many things as you can to keep going and to enjoy it, because we only get one. So yeah. Anyway, that's what I want to do on this my channel, is to share my experiences with you and teach you that it's not over after 50 or 60 or 70 or God knows 80. Just keep on going as long as you can. And yeah, so I hope you'll tune in. And I'm going to post these twice a week. So yeah, thank you for tuning in today, and I'll see you next time.